Heyo.
What up, Gomer Nation?
All right. Let's just go right into it.
You ready? Okay,
Yep.
let's do it. Hold on. Gotta have my files in the right order. I have like Zoom down here and then GarageBand up here. How do you have
Oh,
it?
interesting. I have Zoom up top closer to the camera,
Yep.
so it looks like I'm looking at you when I look at you. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then the GarageBand, just my track on the bottom
Cool.
recording.
I can't do it. I can't do it that way. I just tried it. Can't do
I'm
it.
trying
Been
this.
doing
I
it too
can't do it.
long this way.
I can't do it either. I just tried. Forget
The other way?
it. I tried it your way, yeah.
So because I like the timer for GarageBand to be at the very top.
Yeah, okay. I see
And so
that.
I can see the red bar continuing to record.
Yep. Actually, that might be better because then if I glance up, should I try? I'm going to try it.
That'd be like putting somebody's watch or putting your watch on somebody's forehead. That way, if you check the time, you're
Yeah.
actually looking at them.
But when you click on GarageBand, doesn't it cover up my face?
I click on GarageBand to record, and then I click on you.
Okay, got it.
I do Command Tab.
What's Command Tab?
That goes between apps.
Command T?
Tab, like
Oh,
the
Command
top left.
Tab.
Yeah, that switches between
Oh, I
apps.
see. Cool. I've never done this before.
From my
Whoa.
paralegal days, I learned a
Very
lot of those like
impressive.
shortcuts in like Windows during my paralegal days, and they still work on Mac.
Wow.
A lot
Okay.
of random shortcuts from that.
Cool. Who knew?
Random.
All right, let's do it.
All right, dude, ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, click. Running?
Yep.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap.
You're listening to Overcoming Runner's Block, a Two Gomers podcast about regular people chasing big goals, facing their excuses and barriers, and inviting a nation along for the run. This is Block 43, Plantar Fasciitis, for March 31st, 2023. That can change.
Yeah, for sure.
And anyways, plantar fasciitis isn't a very good. So whatever you decide it is, you can put your voice in there.
Okay, got it.
Because it should be I got or I have.
Right.
Yeah, or maybe I
Like,
don't know. Maybe plantar fasciitis is good. Who knows?
I have plantar fasciitis.
Yeah, something like that. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, you can just add that in. Okay.
Okay. Welcome everybody to this episode of Welcome everybody to this episode of Overcoming Runner's Block. This is Anthony speaking, one of those two aforementioned Gomers coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, with my friend Steven all the way out in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Happy spring.
Dude, thanks, man. You too. Did
First, we're
Groundhog
recording.
Day come? Groundhog say?
He was right. 6 weeks later, it's spring. We're recording this on the first day of spring, March 20th. And boy, I'm glad winter is over. Been a long, hard winter.
That's funny because it's 26 degrees in Atlanta this morning.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Isn't that crazy? It's like they say it's spring in Atlanta, and then it's like there's always that one final like boom.
Right. Yep.
Which the
We
girls were like, why can't it rain tonight? You know, like, and
yep.
then which would be snow, of course.
Yeah,
And then get a
definitely.
snow day.
Well, we now that you mention it, that's weird. We have a winter storm warning tonight, but it's spring.
Okay. So
I don't know how that works.
yeah. Shouldn't it
Spring
be
storm warning.
Yeah, like if it were to snow in summer, would it be a winter storm warning?
Certainly not. Then why can they do it in the spring?
Huh. Maybe they forgot to check the calendar.
Yeah, come on. So we're supposed to get like 6 inches of snow tonight. So I guess it's nice in theory
Wow.
that it's the spring, but it doesn't feel like it around here.
Yeah, or here.
Yeah. Um, anyways, happy spring. Uh,
Sweet,
y
dude.
that reminds me, we're getting into the year quite a bit. You've got
Mm-hmm.
your 100 days dry.
Yep.
We gave a little of an update last week. I'd like more of an update if you would.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So go back a couple episodes. I talked about doing dry 100. I
Mm-hmm.
think today is 77 or so. I mean,
Wow.
78, something
Uh-huh.
like that.
Yeah.
And still going great. Still feels good.
Awesome.
I've got my trusty La Croix here. Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's going great. Feels awesome. Super glad we did it. Erin was actually asking me the other day. She's like, "Do you want to just do the whole year?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Nah." And
Okay.
and here's why. I don't say it flippantly, but I said
Yeah.
it to be funny right then. Is I I think that was really important. We'll do a review of this when
Yeah.
I hit it.
Yeah.
But I think it's been really important, really crucial. I think everybody, just like that sermon that was like the linchpin for me, like do something
Mm-hmm.
for 30 days.
Yeah.
Like if you can't, then there's something's
Yeah. You
up.
need to pay attention to that. Yep.
Yep. Uh is like last night, dude, we lit up the Frank Sinatra again. I made
Ooh.
another Italian recipe.
Oh.
Uh I found this one which it's gonna sound weird. This is a little bit deeper cut.
Okay.
Uh you take a jar of anchovies
Uh-huh. Sure.
and a stick of butter,
Mm.
and
Little
you
fish. Little fish. That's what
yep,
anchovies are, right? Okay.
yep, salty, briny, and you like
Mm.
kind of melt them all down.
Do you use the like liquid that's in the
Yeah.
anchovy can?
Yep, the olive
Okay.
oil.
Yeah.
And you like just get that like nice and melty.
Yeah.
So and then uh you toss the al dente pasta in that with some
Mm.
parsley, some lemon zest, some grated garlic when it's super hot.
Wow.
Toss all this together and it's kind of like gray brown turns the pasta,
Okay.
and then you serve it with extra parsley and lemon. And
Mm.
then we had parm if you want it. You're not supposed
Okay.
to with fish, but
Yeah.
I cannot confirm or deny if I might have tried a few bites with fresh grated Parmigiano Reggiano. And we made chicken cutlets and we made Olive Garden salad from
Mm.
scratch
Mm.
and garlic bread. And Frank Sinatra's playing,
Yeah.
but then no vino.
Yeah. I mean, did it feel incomplete?
It did. You know what I mean? Like the guy
Yeah.
on the Instagram, this Italian guy that was making it, he was having champagne while he was making it.
Yeah. Right.
And then
They're
you'd have
they're
some,
always, if you see an Italian cook or
yeah,
chef, they're always
yeah,
drinking wine or something in a stemmed
yes.
glass while they're cooking.
Right. It's part of it's part of it.
Yeah.
It's part of the whole thing, and I think that is totally awesome and okay.
Sure. Of
You know
course.
you
Now, do
you know
you
what I mean?
cook with wine during the 100 days dry?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, I haven't, but I'm sorry, but okay. I've been really getting into cooking. Okay.
Yeah.
Once again, it's like I have a renewed, and
Mm.
especially when the girls are really like Isla did the chicken cutlets,
Yeah. That's fun.
Lily did this pasta with me. Like it's just so fun.
Love it.
But on St. Patrick's Day, which was Friday,
Mm-hmm.
now that you and I are New York Times subscribers and New York Times cooking subscribers,
Yes.
which you got to download that app too, bro.
Okay. I better. Yep. I'm putting it
Uh,
on my to-do.
their recipe of the week was Nigella Lawson's Guinness chocolate cake.
Ooh. Okay.
And dude, I saw it on Instagram first.
Uh-huh.
And see, look at two. I actually made two of the things I saw on Instagram. Well,
That's
that's like
pretty good. Yeah.
a
You
record.
you
You know what I
don't
mean?
just read, you do.
I do exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So the tag or the title of the post from New York Times Cooking was somebody in quotes saying, "I keep trying to find a better chocolate cake recipe and I can't."
Okay.
So
That's
something
awesome.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, dude, it's okay. Again, beer, Guinness,
Yeah.
and then you like melt that down, extra fine sugar, vanilla,
Butter.
and then yeah, butter, and and it's maybe the first cake I've ever made. I don't make
Oh.
cakes.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not a cake. And then it has a cream cheese icing.
Mm.
Sour cream was in the batter also.
Mm.
And dude, it was so amazing.
Okay. I mean, I got to try that. And I got to get that app.
Yeah, New York Times Cooking, Nigella Lawson chocolate Guinness cake.
You're more of a cook than a chef, than a baker, I should say,
Right. Erin
is my
usually does the
guess.
baking,
Mm-hmm.
but she was at school that day and I thought
Mm.
it would be a fun treat.
Yeah. She
So
made me
did
those
some.
cupcakes on my birthday when I was out there in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I
Dude, her
mean,
cupcakes are
heaven.
so good.
That was so good. And everything. Usually I don't like a cupcake because of the icing
Mm-hmm.
or frosting. Which is it? Icing or frosting? I don't know.
It's the same
Are
thing,
they
I think.
interchangeable?
I don't know.
Frosting. Let's say that. But
Yeah.
it
Okay.
was like this buttermilk creamy
Yeah.
frosting she
Oh.
made. Oh my
Oh.
gosh. She gave me the recipe. I tried to make them here, not half as good
Oh
as when she
man.
made them.
Well, she's got the Midas touch.
I guess so.
Uh.
Everything she touches turns to frosting.
But dude, so the thing about this cake
Mm.
was I didn't pick up on it at first, but
Uh-huh.
when you ice it or you frost it,
Yeah.
it says only frost the top because it's supposed when you cut it, it's supposed to look like a Guinness beer.
Oh, I see. Yep.
So don't frost the sides. So
Mm.
like you get this dark chocolate
I see.
and
Like
then this
it's supposed to look like the foam on top of the
yeah,
beer.
like the
Yeah.
frothy head
Yep.
and yeah, it was really good.
Okay. I got to do that. That sounds really
Aaron's
good.
cupcakes though, shoot, now I want some of that.
Send them my way.
Okay, and
Um.
and we gave up sweets for Lent, but that
Oh,
was the
I did.
Sabbath.
That is what I was
So
just about to ask you. I haven't asked you about Lent because I just figured the 100 days dry was part of that.
okay, nope,
Okay.
bonus.
Okay. Um. True Gomer confession. I had a lot of Lent goals,
Yeah.
and they're all out the window.
Oh man, shoot.
I've had a couple rough weeks, and
Yeah,
then right on the tail of that, I went to Universal Studios,
yeah,
and any Lent commitments at that point were just like, I just need to have a little bit of fun today.
yeah.
So as I've come back today, I'm thinking about re-upping some of those. But I mean, we went to Super Nintendo World, which is 2 weeks now open,
Wow.
and we went to Toad's Kitchen or something like that. Toad is the
Mm-hmm.
chef
Mm-hmm.
in the world, and he has his own kitchen. And we ate I think we tried everything on the menu.
Really,
I'm pretty sure
that's
because we
awesome.
had my fam minus Noah because he was at the Taylor Swift concert and couldn't come, which
Amazing, but sad.
helped with the FOMO, but that I was at Universal, but I'm still a little bit like, I wish I could have gone. Anyways, Kaz and Amy were with us and Alex's whole family. And between all of us, I think we got almost everything on the menu.
Cool.
So cute, so fun, so
Oh
delicious.
man.
And almost everything on that menu was what I had committed to not eating during Lent.
Sure, sure. Dang it. Yep.
Um, I'm gonna make a bold statement.
Okay.
Universal food is way better than Disney food.
Hmm.
If you
Okay.
take if you take now Super Nintendo World and Hogsmeade,
Uh, okay.
you've got better food in Universal now than Disney. I don't like any food, maybe the Ronto wrap and Galaxy's Edge, but and they have really fancy places to eat. And then there's Epcot. So what am I saying? Maybe I'm
Right.
wrong. Okay,
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
say
Okay.
this. Universal food is better than Disneyland food.
Okay. Yeah, because World Showcase at Epcot rules.
Yeah, you can't beat it. You're right.
World Showcase. But I see what you mean though. Like if all you had was like the stands.
Well, but do you like any of the food in Galaxy's Edge or the drinks?
Oh, Galaxy's Edge. Oh,
I'm
nah.
just thinking about that. Like,
Right. I
so
didn't get
if
to
you're
have
gonna
the
stack
beer.
like Harry Potter World against Galaxy's Edge, the food is
Sure.
so much better.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I get it. I see that.
Butterbeer is so much better than Blue Milk.
Oh, I
They
love my
can't
blue
even
milk.
compete.
Huh. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, butterbeer is in like every other paragraph in Harry Potter. Blue milk occurs in the Star Wars universe, but it's a deep, you know, thing that
Yep.
I like you might not even pick up on.
Right. Yeah. And it's fun. I'm just saying it tastes better.
Oh man, I want to try that.
It's really good. Okay. Can I just also say I think I walked 8 miles
Wow.
at Universal, which is pretty
Uh-huh.
impressive because it's a small park, Universal Hollywood. Um, but we walked so much and stood in a lot of lines. It was the most crowded day, I think, of the year we were there.
Okay. Dang.
And
Of course that's the day. Yeah.
they just opened up Super Nintendo World, so everybody was there.
Uh-huh.
Just a crush of people, but we still got to go on everything we wanted to. Great fun. Walked a lot. Ate so much stuff.
Wait, at Hogsmeade, is that sort of like a British pub or
So
Irish
they
pub? Like,
yeah, they have the Three Broomsticks, which is
okay.
the restaurant there.
Okay.
And it's like stews
Yeah.
and big roasted chickens, lots of
Mm-hmm.
potatoes,
Sure, yeah.
actually lots of vegetables, which is rare, I think, in a restaurant at a park.
Yep.
So we ate there, had a blast. Yummers.
Once again, we're recording, haven't had lunch, super hungry now.
Me
Dang it.
neither. I know.
Dang it.
Yeah. Um, okay. Big app. Something we've mentioned for a while has been kind of your physical woes
Mm,
over the past
totally.
year. We've kind of
Yep.
talked around that, danced around a little bit. Now that I'm back from the surgery, we're recording eps again. We thought
Yep.
we need to do an episode about when you got plantar fasciitis last year, and it
Oh,
has
jeez.
basically affected you since then, and we need to talk it
Mm-hmm.
out.
All right. Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, let's keep going. Let's clap, though.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. All right. Hey, how's it going over there? Heard you've been having a foot problem, man.
Mm.
Hope it's getting better. Cheers, man.
I had to type out plantar fasciitis a lot for
Mm,
our notes.
I know. It's like got two eyes.
The two eyes
Mm-hmm. It
in a
kind of
row
looks
is what freaks me out, but also I
it
kind of
looks
like it.
kind of cool, right?
There's two
Like,
eyes, and then there's a T, and then there's another eye.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So three eyes in a row, and they look kind of like little, like they sort of look like people, right? Like heads on top of the eyes.
Look at these little guys. Fasciitis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this would
Pretty
knock
cool.
them out in the wedding game.
Mm. They'd be like, "Wow, what is that?" And I would say, "Okay, so I looked it up. I mean,
Yeah.
I know what it is well."
Can I just explain the wedding game real quick? This is when Anthony
Oh,
would sit at a table at a wedding and he would say, everyone has to say a science word. We're going to go around. And for some reason, it's the most fun, funny game you'll ever play.
it's so fun. Xylem, phloem,
Yeah.
pith, plantar fascia,
Yeah. I mean, people would be like, wow, very impressed. Okay. Just in case
gastrocnemius.
people are new listeners and didn't know what the wedding game was.
Yep. Fun to go around your table and you're out if you can't think of something to say that's like medical or scientific. Just dig back into your high school classes.
I love it. I tried to do that once with countries.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Not as fun, but still very interesting how few countries most people know, including me.
Sure. Georgia.
Georgia would be a great country to say.
Yep. They'd be like, no, it's not. It's a state. Be like, it's a country. I live
You
there.
can
Oh wait,
say
no, I don't live there, but I do live in Georgia, but not there.
you say Chad. Say that's not
Uh-huh.
a country, that's a name. And he said,
Nope.
it's a
The
country.
Chad.
The Chad is a person. Chad is a country.
Right.
The Republic of.
Yeah.
See how fun it should be? It wasn't that fun.
Yeah. It's fun.
It's fun. Try it out next time.
Yeah.
And then there's a Dr. Pepper game which we played, which is named the
Oh yeah.
ingredients of Dr. Pepper. That is fun. That's
With
another great.
Krause.
Yeah, that's another great like twist on the on the wedding game.
Yep. That's fun.
Okay. All right, you were about to read something to me, I think. Were
Oh
you?
yeah.
Or you were
Well,
looking at your notes?
I was gonna read what this is, but
Oh yeah,
let
please
me let
do.
me set this up. So
Okay.
back, you can look back at May-ish,
It
mid-May.
was May. Yep.
Um, Tore my calf, my gastrocnemius.
Oh right.
And then this summer just kind of had some, it kind of like there was like the elbow thing, remember? And you and I were talking about like all of a sudden like
You have some sort of
soup.
fluid sac on your elbow. What was this
Yeah,
again?
like there was there was like a, yeah, it's just too gross to even talk about. But like
I
my
already said
elbow was
fluid sac, so
weird.
we're into it.
Okay, well that's what it was. And I could like my wrist hurt super bad,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden I got like super itchy all the time.
Yeah. I remember
Like
this.
the that has kind of remained, but that's more like morning and night. So I'm kind of become like a lotion guy.
Well, when you first revealed that to me, I said you should use lotion, and it seemed like you were not into that idea.
No, I'm not into like, I don't like moisturizers and stuff
Sure.
because then your hands are all slick, and I just
Yeah. Or
I
you
don't I
smell a
don't like.
certain way. Like if you don't get the right scent of the lotion, you can
Oh
smell a way
yeah,
you don't like.
you don't smell like you. You're like, is there somebody behind me? You know,
Yep.
like all the
But
time.
you like lubricate, you like lubing up, as far
For
as I
sure,
remember.
for runs, and that sounded weird, dude.
I mean, you could stop there.
But
Let's
you're
not
right.
list the things. The runs, stop.
Even in between my toes and in my belly button, right?
I lubed up my toes, Gomer's tip, before
Yep.
Universal Studios. Definite
Oh yeah.
must before you go to Disney. Lube up
Yep.
those toes. Takes your
Yep.
blister issue is taken out of your life when
Oh,
you do that.
100%. Yeah, if you can, bring in some Vaseline into a theme park, because there will probably be chafage at some point.
Don't be ashamed of when those guys look in your backpack and see a giant case of lubricant. Be proud. This is going to help me today.
This is the only way I'm gonna make it. Uh,
Okay, so we
but
like
yeah, so
lubing. You don't like lotioning, but you have lotion because, sorry, I'm trying to
yeah,
backtrack our tangent. You have to lotion because of the itchiness, which is one of your
yep.
many ailments this year.
Many woes, and I think
Yeah.
we've talked about for a while that
Hmm.
the the calf injury,
Hmm.
it just kind of, it just made me feel like crap, and forgive us for people that I'm not being age, shaming or anything like that, but it made me feel like, have I turned a corner?
Yeah.
And I'm starting to get old, man. I had that weird elbow. I couldn't bend it. I'm itchy. I can't walk, you know, and I
We
was
talked
just
about
starting
this
to.
a little bit last episode with my surgery, the throat
Oh
surgery.
yeah.
Just I couldn't
Yep.
explain it any other way besides this makes me feel old and that makes me feel sad and a bit depressed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because dude, I kind of identify like the
Uh-huh.
way that you think of yourself as a
Yes.
young person.
Right.
Like, and if I've said this before, sorry, but like when I see pictures, I'm like, oh wait, I'm older than I thought.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
When you see pictures of
so
you,
yeah,
yeah, me too.
I'm like, say what?
Yeah. Well, I am getting, I don't know if people 13.1ers can see it on the camera or people notice in my pictures. I've My mustache has almost gone completely gray.
Yeah,
And when I see people for the first time since like several months ago, it is the number one comment I get about my looks lately.
really
Yes. So
interesting.
I saw Alex the other day. First thing he said, he was like, "Wow,
That is
that's a
so Al.
lot of gray."
That is
But
so Alex.
it's not only him. It's a lot of other people. The first thing that they say if they haven't seen me since the summer. I'm talking about the
Hmm.
summer. Is they're like, That's a big difference. And then I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, but a lot of people have been, I've heard this from 5 people that have seen pictures of me on Insta or on Be Real who say, I thought it was snowing
Huh.
when you took that picture because your beard and your mustache are looking gray. I
Yeah.
texted my staff and I said, should I dye it? And you should dye it.
And
Should
you
I
should.
dye it?
Yep. Tim Allen.
And they were like, absolutely not. It looks fake when you dye it. Just
Mm-hmm.
embrace it. But I cannot lie and say that it has not been difficult for me to embrace this.
Interesting. Wow.
It ages me, I would say, from people who would used to be like, "Oh, you're 45? Wow,
Uh-huh.
you don't look it."
Uh-huh.
Nobody's saying that no more
That,
because of
yeah,
this
that.
gray in my beard and my
So
mustache.
this is why I want to kind of dig into that, is like, is that an identity thing? Like, you see yourself as one thing.
Yeah.
Uh, like, at what point do you think of yourself as a middle-aged person?
I mean, do you think of yourself as that? I'm trying to figure out if I do.
I don't know, man. Because
I
I
guess
still
I,
feel like me and Aaron still feel like sometimes like we're just like kids. Like, we have
uh-huh.
this house. Like, we
Mm-hmm.
have an 11 and a 7-year old. Like, we're
Mm-hmm.
adults. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have
Well, yes,
responsibilities. We have,
I know exactly what you mean. You mean at once in a while you're like, am I allowed to have a house?
yeah, or like,
You know what
I
I mean?
guess
Like
not. I
I
guess
don't.
that. I
It
mean,
doesn't seem like I'm old enough to have a house. Sometimes I will think that.
yeah, I guess that's what I mean. Is like I'm walking down and it's like, oh, that's our house. Or, like we have some cars and jobs, and like we're past. I'm halfway, for sure, halfway done with my life.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe I don't want to. Maybe I'll live to 90. Maybe I'll live to 100. But most likely, I'm coming up on 44 in a couple
Uh-huh.
weeks.
Yep.
88. That's
It's
Back
old.
to the Future time, dude.
That's old. And
Yeah.
not everyone lives to be that age.
Mm-hmm.
So the I think the throat surgery was a part of it. The gray is a part of it. Where if of course, if you were to ask me, are you middle-aged? I would say yes, practically logically, I'm middle-aged. But I
Mm-hmm.
think the question you're asking, and I'm trying to figure out, is do I think of myself that way
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
like gut, in my gut?
Yeah.
And I guess I think the answer to that is no. I I feel or want to feel younger than I am.
Hmm.
College ministry helps with that because I
Mm-hmm.
can be really up in the times and be jealous when people go to Taylor Swift and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so it sounds like what you're saying is that the kind of constant string of injuries that sometimes have overlapped in your life the past year have made you
Yeah.
feel old. You look younger than I look right now, just so you know. You've got none of that gray that I can tell.
Dude, I'll tell you the truth. I have some grays here, and I cut them out. These right here,
Ooh.
I cut them
My
out,
only
dude.
choice would be to shave, and I am not doing
Yeah,
that.
I could. Well, so I think I have about 10 right here.
Okay, he's pointing at like what is this called? The Fu Manchu? No, no, the like the what's that little thing right below your
Soul
lower?
patch,
Yeah, the is that
right
what it is?
below the
Soul pat?
soul. Yeah,
Okay,
right
yeah.
below that,
Mm-hmm.
I have maybe 10 really nice gray hairs right here.
Like
And so,
really
like,
gray, noticeable
oh,
hairs.
like white. Totally.
Okay, yeah,
Call it vein. Okay, maybe somebody's going to get mad about that, but I just cut them out.
right. You pluck them or you cut them?
Just cut them with a scissors.
How big is the scissors?
It's
Little
like the little
tiny.
mini beard scissors. You know what
Just
I
trying
mean?
to get a picture. Just trying
It's
to get a visual of this.
the one that you use for your nostrils.
Right. I see what you mean. So they would fit up your nose, but you use them to cut the gray hairs. I
Hmm.
don't think I could do. I mean, look, dude, look at my
Oh yeah,
mustache.
that's no. You would be out.
It's gray, and
Yep,
so
dude, and I love it, and there is no problem with that, dude. I don't
I
have a problem with
know.
it. I'm like,
Thank you for
I
saying that. I
probably
don't
have
know.
a few months left.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're talking months. That's what I mean. Is like, just like you said, this is happening fast.
And I am 2 years older than you right now until next week or 2 weeks from now, or
Right,
I guess a
right.
month from the recording. Well, now then we'll be a year apart.
Yeah.
But still, right now I'm 45 and you're 43, and so maybe
Uh-huh.
that's okay that I have more gray than you
Huh.
or than
I don't
Alex.
care. Well, what about Krause though? Krause went gray at like 25.
I know, and
Looks amazing.
if you were gray, I would say the same thing to you. Who cares? Grow them out.
Totally, dude. I
But
love it.
it's me.
Isla pointed it out to me a
Uh,
couple weeks ago, and she was like,
yeah,
"Gray hair is a crown of splendor." Like she quoted the Bible. She
a
said it
genius
means
little girl.
she said it means you're wise, Daddy. And I was like, heart melted.
Exactly. I'm tearing up right now.
You're right. She's
And
like,
I would even say 2 years ago when I wasn't gray, I think I probably have said this on the podcast. I've been like, I can't wait.
"Yep,
I feel old already. I feel like I'm getting into my middle age. And so the hair should match. Then it starts happening, bro. Oh no, people think I'm old. Everybody's looking at me. I should dye it. And I should dye it.
yep,
Just so you know, that's from Santa Claus. That
yeah,
quote
yeah,
I'm quoting. Um,
right,
But it's the same thing. We've talked about this before. You see somebody who doesn't fit the like how thin you should be
hmm
norm, and I'm like, who cares? What
you
do
don't
I care
care,
if that person
totally,
looks like that? They're coming in, they're confident with their body, they're at the pool, they don't care. I don't
yep,
care. Now they might care.
yep,
I don't care about them, but when it's
right,
me, I care.
yep." You think everybody's looking like they're staring right at your mustache, like, "Ooh."
And so students don't ask me what my major is anymore, or if I'm a grad student.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting that question anymore. It's quite noticeable that there is a shift the past 2 years. I'm not getting that anymore.
Wow, yeah.
That is a kind of a shot to my pride,
Hmm.
which needs shots anyway. So I should embrace it.
Take
you
the
know,
shot.
I'll
Yep.
take the shot. Um, Injury, I think, has been not helped with that. And it sounds like your 43-year-old bod is going
hmm
through it.
Yeah, it just feels like it's been put through the ringer.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody thinks it's vain that I was cutting the grays out, I probably will stop when it's impossible. But for now, it still looks full and rich. Full.
Do you ever feel like your beard and mustache look a little red?
Totally. I, for some reason, have like red beard. Yes.
Okay. I
Yep.
didn't I'm color deficient, so I wasn't quite sure if I'm seeing that right. But I've always thought your mustache and beard have a red tint.
Hey, let me get up close.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Yep.
And that
Totally.
concludes me and Anthony looking at our beards episode, getting close to the camera.
Sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/2gomers.
You are not going to want to miss us looking at and complimenting each other's mustaches.
If somebody looked up plantar fasciitis and found this episode, they're going to be like, "What
We
the
haven't
heck,
even
you guys?"
gotten to the definition you were going to read.
Dang it,
It's
dude!
like half an hour ago.
Dang it! Okay, let's talk about it. Plantar fasciitis, dude.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so, okay, so here's the thing. I've actually talked to multiple doctors,
Yes.
two physical therapists,
Mm-hmm.
um, but not but like I just recently listened to an episode of I can't remember the name of the podcast right now, but the doctor was Angela Walk. She's like a foot doctor.
Okay. Now we know it's serious. Anthony is listening to podcasts about
I'm
foot podcasts.
I'm listening to foot podcast, dudes. If you can find stinking anything, dude. You
Mm.
know what I mean?
And those foot
Uh
podcasts are stinking.
oh,
Anything,
oh,
probably.
literally. They are literally stinking podcasts.
So you're listening to this foot podcast, and does this doctor say what it is?
Yeah, oh, for sure. Well, and I know very much what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so here's what she said. She said, when one part of your body is compensated,
Yeah.
you make up for it in another way.
Yeah.
Wait, compensate? Yeah, compensated. Uh, and so that's what happened to me. So my right leg was
Uh-huh.
compensated. It was messed up. I got the calf injury,
Yeah.
limping along.
Yeah.
And basically, you know, lo and behold, now I got a problem on the left side of my body. You know what
And
I mean?
that's
And
your left foot is the one that
yeah,
is
so the
hurting? Okay.
left foot is I can't say it was suddenly, but
Mhm.
it was like maybe it inched on, and then at some point it crested over the breaking point and was like, dude, something is wrong with my foot.
Because
And
the other side of your body, if you hurt your right side, the other side of your body is compensating for that by working
yeah,
in ways it's not supposed to work.
right.
And so then you injure that side
Uh-huh.
because of the first injury. I've had plantar fasciitis before,
Uh-huh.
and mostly it just feels like somebody's stabbing my foot with a knife over and over again. It's
Totally.
so painful, bro.
Yep. Oh yeah. So it's a stabbing pain in every step, especially in the morning or at night,
Ugh.
and when you've been sitting for a while.
Oh,
It is so that was what she said. She said here's the Star Trek: The Next Generation style quote.
okay.
It's when a person overwhelms the structural. Oh dang it, I can't say it right. When a person overwhelms the structural integrity of the plantar fascia.
And that where is that? Where's the plantar
So
fascia?
so the plantar fascia. Here, let me put my foot up there.
Oh boy, now this is worth paying 13.1 a month for. Now we get foot shots? Actually, I don't
So
know if I want the people that want this.
so okay, so the plantar fascia is a thick fibrous band that goes from the heel to the forefoot. So it's this.
On the bottom of
This
the
is your
foot, he's pointing
this is
to.
your
Yeah.
plantar fascia.
Okay, got it.
And right here it just feels like some bit is like
Some
just
bit me.
some bit me.
By the
No,
way,
it doesn't.
you really have to see what he's doing here. Anthony's leaning as far as he can back in the chair, and his both feet, I see sometimes both feet are right up to the
Ow.
camera.
That hurt.
Oh no,
Getting
now he's
old.
done it. Now he's done it.
Oh yeah, see, that's the thing. That's like you know that one Instagram post that was like, you know, we used to get injured by, playing sports or
Yep.
doing this, and then it's like sat wrong, like leaned over to pick up a pen that you dropped, like
Or slept
slept wrong.
wrong.
Yeah,
I feel
just
like a lot of my injuries
totally.
are sleep wrong. Like, why can't I feel my arm when you wake
Oh,
up?
100%. I have woken up and can't feel, my hand at all, like that
Numb
kind of
arm,
thing.
numb sleep arm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I guess
Or
I did something
just
bad sleeping.
you're like, I can't. I like you turn into like RoboCop. And you can only turn like this. You know what I mean? Like, and it'll be
Yeah,
for like
Batman,
days.
Batman from the 80s where his cowl is attached to his shoulders.
Yeah,
So he's like,
can't turn his
Michael Keaton's like, whenever he has to turn fast, he's like, huh? His whole body.
It was just did a spit take, dude.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. So wait, so that's the plantar fascia, and plantar fasciitis is when you inflame that, right? That's like inflamed or injured or
well, you
pulled or
you
something.
as she said, you overwhelm the structural integrity of it. So it's like this
Overwhelm it.
band. Like
Yeah.
one of my physical therapist friends said, it's like kind of like a bungee cord between the front of your
Mm-hmm.
foot and the back of your foot.
Okay,
And
got it.
basically, it's not inflamed
Mm,
necessarily. It's upset. It's I guess that's not really a good way to put it. I can't think of though. It's just damaged.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so here's three common signs. If you look this up, I got three common signs for you.
Great.
Also, we are not doctors.
No,
Okay, go
but we
to a
do listen to
doctor.
foot podcasts.
Yeah, this is
So we
from
do
that
have a
foot
little bit of
podcast.
clout.
Yeah, and her last name is Walk, which is amazing.
Love it. Her name, like
Okay, so
WOK or WALK?
WALK.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
She was
Trustworthy for sure.
meant to be, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so three common signs: a pinpoint tenderness when you apply pressure to the inside of the heel bone,
Yeah.
uh,
Yep.
or a stabbing pain in the arch or the heel in your first steps of the morning,
Okay.
as well as times of prolonged sitting. And I added this, for example, grabbing coffee with a friend or playing a bassoon concert.
Oh, that wasn't in there?
That
You had to
wasn't in
add
there.
that.
Yes. But I
playing a
mean,
bassoon concert.
playing a symphony orchestra concert on your bassoon. So
I
like
like
if
it
I'm
better, bassoon concert.
a
You
bassoon
used to do
concert,
that. Remember the
yep,
choir trip, and now it's time for the bassoon concert. Anthony
and
plays a bassoon solo to these like unsuspecting children
in the middle of a choir concert. Why?
because you were the best musician we had.
It doesn't matter that it's a bassoon.
Why does sitting make it worse? Do you know?
Um, you know, now that would be a question for Dr. Walk. I
Hello,
don't
Dr.
know.
Walk.
I don't exactly know.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I mean, it's. I think it's because of the position your foot is in.
Sure.
Um, so like, when you wake up in the morning,
Uh-huh.
like it had gotten so bad in like December, or maybe it was January. I'm sorry, my dates are fuzzy because
Yeah.
my memory's horrible. Go back to my one word episode. Um,
He's working on it, folks.
and I would wake up in the middle of the night to like use the restroom, which
Uh-huh.
is another aging thing. Which I have cut off water. This is something I
Before
did
bed.
recently. I've started to cut off. Yep, water because I've cut off. Now I've cut off caffeine at like 10 a.m.
Okay.
and I'm reducing it only to 1 cup a day.
Wow.
And now I'm cutting off water at like 8 p.m. And I still do have my nighttime like chamomile tea, but that's like
Right.
8 ounces.
Okay. I
And
have found nothing works.
dude,
No
I'm
matter
not getting up
how.
anymore. I'm not
Oh,
getting up anymore.
really?
Since I cut that off, I sleep unless I wake up with like a bad dream, which I've kind of been having some of those, but I go back to sleep. I haven't.
Okay. Interesting.
So you
That's
haven't
great.
found anything?
I feel like I can not drink like after 5 p.m. and still 2 a.m. I'm pissing like a racehorse.
Have you ever seen that, dude?
Racehorses pee?
Yeah.
Sure. I mean,
It's like
I've seen it. I've experienced it every night at 2 a.m.
no, dude, but if you've seen that, it's like a fire hose.
That's what I'm saying. Actually, that's another age thing. It's not fire hose anymore. It's a little bit more like trickling like a racehorse.
So it's not like a racehorse at all. That's what I
I used to have quite the stream. No more.
mean.
It's just
Tom
part of
Hanks,
aging. All this
yeah,
stuff.
Tom
Um.
Hanks in
Oh
Partner
yeah.
to a League of Their Own. He had nothing on you.
Well, also Tom Hanks. Remember Tom Hanks and Pert
Yeah,
near to the Green Mile?
yeah,
Remember that? Where he couldn't go
man,
and then he could.
miracle,
Miracle
totally.
happened in Tom Hanks' life.
Yep.
So anyways, what the heck are we talking about? It's just all aging. Okay, when you would wake up, that's what it is. When you would wake up in the middle of the night, your foot would
Yeah,
hurt.
it would no, it wouldn't hurt. It would hurt so bad that
Okay.
I basically like had to. I mean, uber limp.
Yeah.
And so like, so I think that was one of those middle of the nights, and that only happened a couple times. That was kind of like at the worst of it.
Right.
Where I was just like, this cannot be. Like, I have got to go to the doctor because,
Right.
like, because I for me, like, I'm totally the one of those people that just like, it's just gonna work itself out. You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean?
And
Like
that's
it'll
a young man's game, right? Like it'll
right.
just fix itself.
Just like keep on it. You know, like
Hopefully it'll stop hurting and then I'll never remember that it ever hurt.
yep.
That's
Maybe
something I'll
so. Maybe
forget, but it just doesn't go away anymore. Some
maybe
things.
that's a Gomer's tip is like when you hit a certain point,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably not, I mean, sometimes it's going to naturally get better,
Yeah.
but sometimes you should probably address it.
Yes. And especially if you're waking up like those moments where I'm like, it's not going away
Mm-hmm.
are scary. But then when I determine I'm going to go to the doctor about it, that helps. It's just,
Yeah.
you have to go.
Well, that even plays into the uh, mind body thing, which is I was actually really worried about it,
Yeah.
and that actually makes it worse. Like your worry actually physically manifests itself in your body.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And like I think that is so you and I were talking about this off podcast a while, but my body is telling me something that it is like not healthy and whole.
Yep.
Like, and it's my mental state. It's, you
Mm-hmm.
know, stuff that we don't talk about very much here, but that it's just manifesting itself in just like ways where I was just hurting.
Yeah. I
Um,
tend to feel it in my neck and shoulders.
mm-hmm.
Speaking of Michael Keaton and Batman, so that I can't even
Yeah.
stiff necked, right? I can't even
Yeah.
turn from right to left.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I know that physical and mental and spiritual stuff is
Yep.
connected in that part of my body.
Yep.
Um, but I think that can apply to all the way down to the foot.
Oh yeah.
Um, is it you're just one thing, mental,
Yep.
physical. It's all connected.
Totally.
And this you said this was in the winter, December,
This was in the
January.
winter.
Yeah.
Yep. So, just two other common signs: a pulling or a pain into the arch of the heel when you pull your big toe up towards your
Mm-hmm.
shin or towards the ceiling.
Yeah.
Was the actually that was the third one. I think after prolonged sitting was
Oh
the
yeah.
second one. Or
Okay.
no, stepping pain, pinpoint tenderness, and pulling or pain in the arch. Um, so I mean, when I heard her say that, when I talked to my doctor, when I talked to my physical therapist, they were all like, "Duh, that
Yeah.
this is what it is."
Right.
Um, so basically, what I did, dude, is I through the course of the calf and the this, I like lost my keystone habit, which is just walking a couple miles a day. Forget
Right.
running.
We're not even
I
talking
like
about running right now.
no,
You couldn't even walk.
yeah, like to my car and then to the hall and back.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and it is one of those things where it's terrible in the morning, terrible at night, terrible after you've been sitting. Once you've kind of warmed up, you can get to the point where you can manage it.
It loosens up
Yeah,
eventually. You can use the ice, frozen water
frozen water
bottles or
bottle
whatever.
and the
Yeah.
roller thing. Yeah, well,
Yep.
actually, so I have a few from her, a
Uh-huh.
few prehab
Oh,
ways to
to
prevent it,
avoid it.
and a
Uh-huh.
few rehab.
This is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So prehab. So she was saying, and this is basically it's weak there, and this is
Mm.
from her, but like she was like actually over cushioned shoes, and
Yeah.
the fact that we wear like orthotics often
Mm-hmm.
or like inserts is actually not a great thing
I've heard this. Yep.
because
Yeah.
we have kind of like babied that area
And weakened
instead
it
of
even more.
weakened it, yeah, instead of
Okay.
strengthened it. So she was like, orthotics are good, but you shouldn't like live like that.
Okay.
You shouldn't plan on that being like. I'm just quoting her.
Yep.
Um, so stretching, strength training, cross training,
Yeah.
foot doming, where it's like you raise the arch for a few seconds and then drop it and
I'm
do
trying
about
that right now.
15 to 20 reps of that. So hold that for like a couple seconds and
Raise the
then let
arch
it
like with
go.
your toes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So kind of like one of the exercises was actually like take a like a if you're on a wood floor, take like a
Uh-huh.
carpet or a towel
Yeah.
and like pull it towards
Oh yeah.
you.
I feel like I've seen that before. I feel like my physical
Yeah.
therapist told me that too. Like strengthening like your toes, like you're making fists with your toes, as Bruce
Yeah.
Willis would say.
Dude.
Yeah.
Die Hard, Die Hard, there was a purpose to that. It was fighting his plantar fasciitis.
That's why.
Yeah. Um, so
Okay.
that
Mm-hmm.
now toe spreading and relaxing. So like this is like the opposite action. So like spreading out your toes
Uh-huh.
and even kind of like pulling back on them
Yeah.
is really good.
Okay.
So this is stuff you should just be doing.
I'm doing it
It's
right now.
strengthening. I know. I'm like, dude, I'm doing this crap like all the time.
That's
um,
great.
she said as far as shoes, you should try to have a wide toe box, which we both have on our Hokas and our
Yep.
Brookses.
Love that wide toe box.
Yep.
I also like that word, toe box.
I know toe box is cool because a lot of shoes have like a narrow toe box, and so that's like
Yeah.
cramping this whole thing.
Mm-mm. No good.
Um, and And then actually she talked about trying to aim towards a zero drop shoe, which is less of the like high heel down to a low, which actually a
Oh,
lot of running shoes are not that.
okay.
Like they're higher on the heel. Like I could be
Hokas.
wrong, but I bet our Hokas are actually higher if you look at them. Maybe not.
I wonder. I should find that out. I feel like when I bought them, the guy said they were zero drop because I think
Dude, I
that that's
hope
kind
you're
of
right.
I think for long distance shoes especially, that seems like a priority now for shoe companies because they know the benefits of it. That they
Okay.
don't want you leaning forward. That's more like a sprinter's shoe would be like
You
that.
please be right. You should look that up because I don't
I
want
don't
to
know. Is this one of these cases where I'm just saying it like it's a fact and it's not? I'll tell you
no.
that that's
I was just
true,
thinking
but
about
I'm
the
going to
fact
look
that
it up.
our Hokas are so high
I know.
that I
Yep.
figured it was high, but maybe it's not.
Yep.
While you're looking that up, so
Okay.
she talked about rehab,
Mm-hmm.
uh, talked about rest, ice, compression, elevation.
Yeah.
But actually, and I heard this from a couple other people, that heat is actually better than ice for this because it's not actually
Oh.
inflammation.
Oh, interesting.
So you can actually go back and forth actually between heat and ice.
Yeah.
Um, but so rest, ice, compression, elevation. If you're really struggling with this, take some time off, take some
Mm-hmm.
rest. Um, for me, the biggest thing has been I got like this little foot roller thing,
Uh-huh.
and I did this at Disney World every night.
Oh, you
I did,
mentioned this in the last episode. You did your
um,
stretches and your foot rolls.
dude. I brought it to Disney World. Like
Impressive.
I brought I mean, not just to Disney World, like into the park, so you could
Oh, whoa,
take
cool.
your shoes off. No, I never did, but I was like, just in case, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, and then I do the ice water bottle still.
Okay.
I
It just
actually haven't
feels
tried,
good, doesn't it?
dude. If it feels good, do it. I mean, isn't that the
That's our
motto of the
motto.
'70s or whatever?
And the Gomers.
um,
Just so
and
you
then
know,
my
it looks like Hokas are not zero drop, but they use a low heel to toe drop. So it's not
okay,
so I think it's looking at it, you would think, wow, my heel is a lot higher than my toe, but that's not true. It's a low drop.
okay, okay, good, nice,
Yeah.
yeah. So my I've been doing all those things.
Yeah.
It's a ton better,
Yep.
but I'm still dealing with it. Like it's
With the
still in the
pain
morning. I can
itself.
still feel it. Yeah, I mean it's there,
Yeah.
but it has lessened
Okay.
significantly and it's going away.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a point in February where I was like, I don't know how Disney World's gonna work.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
was
You were saying
pretty
that.
worried about it.
Yep. Even and you're not talking about you're gonna run a marathon, you're talking about walking around a park, right?
Right.
Like, how is that gonna work? Um,
Exactly.
so you did survive that due to your foot rollers and taking a lot of good care of it.
Yep.
But so this is me outside looking in. My perception of it is basically you've been injured for almost a year.
Mm,
I don't know if that's true, but you've been I think we're going to talk about this more because this is the plantar fasciitis, so we wanted to hit that.
yep.
Um, but I do know this is behind the scenes or not, I don't know, that it has really affected your walking and running
Right.
basically since last spring.
Yeah. Basically, since we did the race, and so
Oh yeah,
clearly that's not just. So we had to have do a plantar fasciitis episode.
right.
Uh, I don't know exactly what the deal is, like what's going on.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I think the reason that they call it a keystone habit is because it's like central to everything else.
And you're
And
talking about
something
your
happened.
daily
I'm
walks.
talking about my daily walks in the
Mm-hmm.
morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about when I took that out,
Hmm.
it's just like a bunch of other stuff just like kind of fell by the wayside. Um,
Physically?
yeah, just kind of. I mean, even mentally a little bit, physically. I
Mm,
mean, I'm doing good. I don't want
yeah,
to. I don't want to speak like I'm doing really bad, because a lot of stuff is really good.
yeah,
But in this particular area of my life, the past year hasn't been the healthiest year.
right. So I'm saying it's behind the scenes with a question mark because I'm guessing people have noticed that, but we
Yeah,
haven't said it out loud.
right.
Besides, like in passing, I guess. Like I feel like if we went back and listened to this past year, even like since the fall,
Yeah,
we probably you have probably said, and then I've been injured since May, and that's really done a number on me, and we'll talk about that later.
yeah. So
Like
is this
some
that?
form of
Is
that
this
sentence
that?
has been said. So I don't know if this is that because we only have 7 minutes left.
Right.
But I feel like the what you're saying about the calf injury leading to plantar fasciitis, I feel like you have had some sort of lower leg foot injury that's taken you out since then.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like primarily the keystone habit it took out was your daily walks.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of taken you off the street.
Yeah, and that would be a little bit too dramatic,
Okay.
dude, to be like, "Oh, I'm not running because I had plantar fasciitis. I've got a lot of other problems, man." So, like that would be really disingenuous to just be like, "That's why." Sorry, um, uh, but um, I don't know, man. I just haven't been prioritizing my physical health, and the thing about that is that that plus like this aging vibe that we've been talking about
Hmm.
is making me not love where I'm at.
Yeah.
And so I think we need to have another episode where we can talk about how to get out of that,
Yeah.
or what to do to get out of that. I
And
mean,
then
I know
we also
one
don't forget have a podcast that is about this. You know what I
well,
mean?
that certainly
So that's
doesn't help.
hard.
That certainly
Right.
doesn't help. And that is a underlying thing like it's been off and on, dude. But like that yeah, that doesn't help. Even though I love podcasting and I love you.
Thank you. How nice of you to say. Um, and I love podcasting and I love you too. And that doesn't change the fact that over the past couple months, we've been
Yeah,
having podcast conversations.
right.
Um, and so next episode we're going to do state of the podcast, and I think we're going to process more of this on the podcast side of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have some pitches I've been pitching to you. We've been talking about how do are there podcast changes we need to make so that it actually fits our lives where we're at right now? No
Yeah.
shame,
Right.
just like looking at the reality. We love podcasting and we love each other as we just stated.
Yep.
Um, for me, it's a bright spot in an otherwise chaotic life. I feel like I would
Yeah.
never want to give this up, but I also don't want to be putting you in a constant state of guilt and shame because
Mm,
you're hurt, and also because that's we're in different places in our lives. How many times over the past 15 years have we had this conversation?
totally. I mean, it's the 1%. It's the 1% thing. It's the identity thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, we're
Yeah.
going to talk about it more.
All right.
I just want to release you from any guilt or shame or feeling bad about it. Like, I just want what's best for us.
Totally. I think one of the things that's keeping me um that's kind of like an aiming point is our whole idea that we've had of aiming for uh 50. Remember that?
Uh huh.
Which is I don't want to keep it's the get busy living or get busy dying thing
Yeah. Yep.
from Red, from
Mm-hmm.
Shawshank Redemption,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gotten me kind of into a hole.
Mm.
It's gotten me kind of into a pit that
Okay.
I don't love physically.
What has?
Uh, this last year, I don't know.
Okay,
The
I
begin
see. I was like,
the be
that quote from Red? That got you to
No, no,
I
the quote from Red rules.
I see.
That's what I'm saying. The quote rules. I want to
Yeah.
get busy living
Yes.
and not get busy dying, and I want to get back to my keystone habits,
Yep.
and I yeah.
I mean, this is behind the scenes and the listener will never know. But we're also recording this after we had an hour conversation around other stuff around this.
Yeah.
Off podcast, never going to be recorded. Never, no one's ever going to know. Unless a year from now, 2 years from now, you're like, we should talk about that because it was big. But I
Yeah.
think both of us are also in positions where we're like, we want to live our lives healthy. And that is more than the running journey. It's more than our jobs. It's more than our family. It's all those things.
Yeah.
And I think we're making big decisions about that. I don't think people
Yeah.
have to be nervous that we're going away, but I think we want to make good decisions about what the podcast is moving forward so that we can both feel free and healthy in it.
Yes. Yes. I can't agree more.
Yep.
And I'm
Um,
excited to talk about that.
and plantar fasciitis is part of that. I also don't want to downplay how much that hurts.
hmm
And when you are trying to walk and run, how impossible it makes it.
Yeah. You know what? Okay. Here's what we talked about is that remember it's an I can't turning into an I won't.
Okay. Yep.
Back to the old stinking epiphany chat, which
Flux
is
capacitor epiphany. Yep.
yep. All blocks are either I can't or I
Mm-hmm.
won't.
Yep.
And I think because it's been so long of like I don't feel great
Yeah.
and I can't is turning into an I won't.
Okay.
And like and I don't want to. It's been
Mm-hmm.
so long. And then I
Yep.
have this podcast about it and then I feel stupid and
I'm what I'm trying to do
all
is
that.
help us through that part of it
Yep.
because I don't, and I know our listeners don't want you to feel that way. And the I'll just give a little tease that I would like to be able to maybe broaden what we talk about beyond running into full health as we age.
Yes. Yep. I love that.
And that's pretty exciting to me.
hmm
And so we're going to talk about that more next week in the state of the podcast. But because we've been talking so much about like Anthony's injuries, woes, I was
Woes,
like,
yeah.
let's just list them. Let's get them all out.
How's that elbow?
Pop that fluid sack and we can go on. Listener, we know you probably have physical woes. Do you want to share any with us? There's a lot of great ways
Yes.
to contact us. Best place to go is Instagram. That's Two Gomers on Instagram. And then you can see in our bio a link tree with links to all things Gomers. You can follow us in all sorts of places. You can also call us on the Gomer phone. That number is
608-622-7669. That's 608 NBA Pony.
rate, review, and subscribe or follow us on whatever podcast app you're listening to right now. Special thanks to Davis for our music, Jason and Eric for our graphics, Adam, our webmaster, and Annie, our social media guru. If you want more Gomers, if you like what you hear, we suggest a couple things. Going back to our 10th anniversary EPs in fall of 2018, that gives you a figurative taste of the Gomers. And then, of course, subscribe to the bonus disc, which is our second podcast on Patreon, patreon.com/2gomers, home of perfect movie, home of perfect reality TV show, Survivor, Survivor coming next month, sandwich drafts. What else have we been doing
Mini
lately?
Mickey Mouse March Madness, Mickey
Mouse
Madness.
Madness, Walt Disney Park bracket. So much fun, random stuff over there. Random,
Totally random and totally fun, dude.
totally fun. So subscribe to us there, patreon.com/2gomers.
Sweet. Hey, I feel like I was really this ended real low and I sounded real depressed. Well, everything's okay. Okay, we're cool. I'm sorry that I got
Everything is fine. That's why I
sorry
wanted to
that
mention that hour-long conversation we had before this, because
yep,
we're also coming out of that, right? Yeah,
yep,
not every not every episode can be Code Brown,
yep.
even though we did talk a lot about pee.
True.
Get a
Yeah,
little bit of that each up.
yeah, not bad. And gray hair.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, dude. State of the podcast coming up next time. Uh we're a little bit like messed up in when the release schedule is, but next time, 2 weeks from now, I believe, is going to be the state of the podcast. We have so much more for you, nation. Don't worry.
Yes. Sweet dude.
We just want to make it work for us and for you, for our lives, for how old we're getting.
Mm. We want the podcast to be life giving, right?
Yes,
Get busy living, get busy dying.
exactly. All right, dude. Great app.
Super fun, man.
And if
Oh wait,
wait,
sorry.
yep.
Super fun, man. And remember, everybody, if we can do this, if we can get together, if we can like lay out our struggles and our
Mm-hmm.
problems before you all and with each other, you can too.
And happy running. Right.
All right, let's stop that.
Let's stop it.
1, 2, 3, stop. Nice,
Let me
dude.
stop this.